What's up, Blue and Silver Nation? This is a team that faces every challenge, every injury, every doubt, and turns it all into fuel to silence entire stadiums. It wasn't easy, it wasn't perfect, but it was pure grit. The kind of game that makes you look up and think, that's why I root for the Detroit Lions. And while the scoreboard showed another dominant win, the spirit of this team sent a clear message to the entire NFL. We're not just winning, we're building something real. So if you believe in this culture, in this team that never bows down to anyone, hit that like button, drop a comment below telling me what moment gave you chills, and share this video with anyone who still doubts the strength of this franchise. Because this isn't just football, it's emotion, it's resilience, it's the Lions family. And you already know how we finish this one. One pride, baby. Roar! What if I told you that what happened today in Cincinnati wasn't just another win? It was the kind of victory that defines who the Detroit Lions really are right now. It wasn't flawless, it wasn't easy, and it sure wasn't without its bruises. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard told the story. Lions 37, Bengals 24. 4 straight wins, 4 straight games with 34 or more points. And for a franchise that has spent decades searching for consistency, that number means everything. This game tested the Lions in ways that box scores can't explain. Taylor Decker was out, forcing rookie Giovanni Manu into his first NFL start at left tackle. The secondary was battered and bruised, Terrion Arnold grabbing and holding on every play, eventually leaving with a shoulder injury, while others like Rock Ya-Sin and Trey Flowers were pushed into action with barely a week of practice. But even with those challenges, this team refused to flinch. That's the culture Dan Campbell built. That's what grit looks like when it walks into another city and silences a crowd. Jared Goff, cool as ever, played his 70th game as a Lion and tied an NFL record in the process, completing 70% or more of his passes in 6 straight road games. Think about that. For a quarterback once labeled a bridge, that bridge has become a highway straight to the top of the NFC North. Goff finished with 19 completions on 23 attempts, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 153 passer rating. No interceptions, no panic, just efficiency and control. He found Sam Laporta early, connected with rookie Isaac Tesla late, and showed once again that when the pocket holds, he's one of the most precise quarterbacks in football. And that pocket, it wasn't perfect. Manu gave up 2 brutal hits from Trey Hendrickson and Joseph Osai, one of which nearly took Goff's head off. But for a first-time starter who came from Canadian college football, his debut was a mix of raw mistakes and real flashes of potential.
The Lions know he's a project. They drafted him 2 years ago for that reason. Today, he got his first real taste of what it means to protect an NFL quarterback under pressure, and he survived it. That matters. But the story of this game, the one that hit fans right in the chest, belongs to David Montgomery. Coming back home to Cincinnati, playing in front of his family for the first time since his sister's tragic accident left her paralyzed, Montgomery gave the city a performance straight from the heart. He didn't just run for a touchdown. He threw one. From the Wildcat formation, Montgomery faked the run and floated a perfect jump pass to Brock Wright in the end zone. Later, he powered his way in for another score. A rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown in his hometown? It was poetic. And when the cameras showed his sister in the stands, smiling as her brother celebrated in the end zone, it was one of those football moments that remind you why we watch. Alongside him, rookie Jahmyr Gibbs kept the chains moving, posting 54 yards on the ground, adding explosive energy in the second half, and finding the end zone on a beautifully designed bubble screen. Together, Montgomery and Gibbs combined for 119 rushing yards and 3 total touchdowns. That's the engine of this offense. When those two click, Detroit controls the pace of the game, period. Sam Laporta deserves his flowers, too. The rookie tight end had 92 receiving yards, his 3rd highest mark in the league, and caught the opening touchdown that set the tone. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god himself, once again proved unstoppable, racking up 8 catches for 100 yards. It's automatic at this point. Target him 9 times, and he'll bring in 8. He just doesn't miss. Week after week, he's the heart of this passing attack, and today was no different. And let's not forget the defense, banged up but opportunistic. 3 interceptions. Alex Anzalone, Kirby Joseph, and Amick Robertson each came up with picks. Anzalone, especially, was everywhere, leading the team with 3 passes defended, adding tackles for loss, and providing the kind of leadership that holds the group together when chaos hits. Kirby Joseph's interception added to an already incredible stat line, 20 interceptions in his first 4 years. Only Ed Reed had more in that span. Think about that. This secondary might be patchwork right now, but it's still producing game-changing moments. Even on special teams, Detroit showed why they're one of the most complete rosters in the league. Jack Fox, the punting machine, was once again surgical. 5 punts for inside the 20, flipping the field like it was his personal canvas. One of those punts set up a safety from Derek Barnes, who, by the way, was playing just minutes from his hometown of Covington, Kentucky. Barnes' sack of Jake Browning sealed the deal, pushing the score to 37-24 and sending Lions fans home smiling once again. And about Jake Browning, let's be real. He was bad. 3 interceptions, a safety, and a quarterback rating that told the whole story. Sure, the Bengals were without Joe Burrow, and yes, that changes everything. But as Matt Derry said on the broadcast, I don't care if it was Jake from State Farm or Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. The Lions did exactly what good teams do. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat. You never apologize for a win in the NFL, especially not one on the road. Now, here's something worth noting. The last time Detroit was favored by 10 or more points on the road was back in 1973, 52 years ago. That's how rare this kind of confidence in a Lions team is. And yet, not only did they win, they covered. That's a statement. 4 wins in a row. A top-tier offense scoring 34 or more in each of those games. A defense holding together through injuries. And a quarterback quietly rewriting records. Next week, they'll walk into Kansas City under the bright lights of Sunday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes, Arrowhead, the reigning champs. The test doesn't get bigger than that. But after watching what this team just did, shorthanded, resilient, efficient, it's hard not to believe they're ready for that moment. Alan McNeil might even be back to bolster the defensive front. The momentum is real. The swagger is real. The 4-1 record is proof of that. So the question for you, Lions fans, is simple. After everything you've seen through these first 5 weeks, do you believe this team has finally turned the corner into true contender status? Drop your thoughts below, because this isn't just about another win. This feels like the beginning of something much bigger in Detroit. And here's where things get really interesting, because beneath the final score and the highlight reels, there's a story unfolding that might define the Detroit Lions' entire season. You see, this wasn't just a win against the Bengals team missing Joe Burrow. It was a stress test for everything Detroit has built: depth, coaching, discipline, and identity. The kind of game that exposes weak franchises and strengthens good ones. And the Lions came out looking like a team that knows exactly who they are. Think about what this roster faced today. No Taylor Decker, the anchor of your offensive line. No DJ Reed, your top corner. A rookie left tackle in Giovanni Manu, who's never faced an NFL pass rusher in live action. A first-round rookie corner in Terrion Arnold trying to find his balance and learning the hard way against NFL receivers. Yet through all of that, the Lions never lost control of the game. That's not luck. That's culture. Dan Campbell's fingerprints were all over this one. You could feel his message echoing through every snap. We don't flinch. Early in the first quarter, Jared Goff led a surgical opening drive, marching down the field like it was scripted destiny, finishing with a touchdown to Sam Laporta. Then came the David Montgomery trick play, a jump pass straight out of the playbook of Johnny Morton, the offensive coordinator who has been dialing up creativity all season long. That's the kind of boldness that defines winning teams, a willingness to trust your players, even when the world expects you to play it safe. And let's talk about Montgomery's moment again, because it wasn't just a highlight, it was an emotional exclamation point. A player coming home, with his sister watching from the stands, paralyzed from a car accident, and seeing her brother throw a touchdown pass in the city where they grew up. It's the kind of scene that feels bigger than football. You could feel that energy ripple through the whole sideline. Every player knew how much that meant. It's hard to measure leadership, but moments like that create belief inside a locker room. When you see one of your guys deliver like that, in front of his family, after everything he's been through, you start believing anything is possible. Jahmyr Gibbs continued to prove he's more than just speed. He's versatility personified. He's evolving every week, showing better patience, sharper reads, and more confidence in contact. His 20-yard touchdown off a bubble screen in the third quarter was textbook, a perfect mix of design and execution. And that's what stands out most about this Lions offense right now: efficiency. They're not just explosive, they're calculated. Every drive has purpose. Every player knows their role. And that starts with Goff, who has become the steady heartbeat of this entire operation. Statistically, this was another reminder of just how far Goff has come since the bridge quarterback label that once followed him. His 6th straight road game, completing 70% of his passes, tying an NFL record, isn't a fluke. It's consistency at an elite level. And it's not just the accuracy, it's the command. Watch the way he manipulates protections, changes plays at the line, trusts his reads. He's seeing the field better than ever. And when you have that kind of quarterbacking paired with an offensive line that can impose its will, you've got a recipe that wins games in December and January, not just October. Defensively, yes, there were issues. Terry and Arnold's holding penalties, Amick Robertson getting toasted on that Ja'Marr Chase touchdown, those moments were ugly. But here's the difference between this Lions defense and past ones. They make up for mistakes with big plays. 3 interceptions today. Alex Anzalone was everywhere, from breaking up passes to snagging a pick that flipped the game's momentum. Kirby Joseph, doing what he always does, found the football in midair like it was magnetized to his hands. That's now 20 interceptions in his first 4 years, second only to Ed Reed. And even with all the injuries, this defense keeps finding a way to deliver impact moments when they matter most. The special teams deserve love too. Jack Fox continues to be one of the most dangerous weapons in football, not just a punter, a field position assassin. He pinned Cincinnati deep 4 times, setting up Derek Barnes' safety that sealed the game late. That was poetic. Barnes, a kid from just across the bridge in Covington, Kentucky, coming home to record a game-clinching play in front of friends and family. You can't write that better. Even Isaac Tesla, a name not many outside Detroit know yet, made his moment count. 1 catch, 1 touchdown, perfect hands. And on special teams, he was everywhere, downing punts inside the 5, hustling on coverage, doing all the little things that championship teams value. That's what's different about this group. Everyone contributes. Everyone finds a way to matter. Now, let's zoom out for a second. This isn't the same Lions team we've watched for years. They're not winning on luck, or trick plays, or other teams collapsing. They're winning because they're built to. They win at the line of scrimmage.